Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today you're getting a 4-in-1 special. In today's video, we're gonna cover 4 different decks because today's video is another edition of our best decks to climb with videos. We usually tend to do this as we approach the end of the season, and from the moment that you're watching this on Wednesday night, we have exactly 2 weeks until the season in Legends of Runeterra finishes. The new season is gonna start on February 1st. So if you're still looking to jump from gold to platinum, from platinum to diamond, diamond to masters, this is your chance. Take a look at this video, learn any of these 4 decks, and you should be able to climb them. Now, the 4 decks that I chose to showcase for you all that I think are the best decks to climb with right now are decks that are both a combination of like really powerful. All of these decks have close to 55% win rate. Some of them have more than 55% win rate over the past 7 days or so in this patch. And they're also slightly quicker games than if you were playing something like Feel the Rush that might take a lot longer to actually climb with, or something like that Twisted Face Seraphim deck that I showcased yesterday. Those games are going to take forever, so you're not able to climb as fast if you don't have a lot of time to climb within the next 2 weeks. The 4 decks that I'm going to cover today are going to be Diana Leona, so Celestians. We're going to cover Gwen Sejuani, which you also saw in our channel a couple days ago. Katarina Leona, which you also saw in our channel about a week or so ago. And then Lulu Jinx. All 4 of these decks are very powerful. Obviously, Lulu Jinx is one of the most popular decks in the current meta, so no question about it, that it's super powerful while still maintaining a close to 55% win rate. And the rest of these decks have also shown to be really, really good. Even though we're showing 2 Leona decks, these 2 Leona decks play completely different, as you might already know if you kind of seen what Katarina Leona can do. But enough of me rambling. Let's jump straight ahead. The way that this video works, if you're new to this series, is that we're gonna do a quick breakdown of the deck, play at least 2 games, and then move on to the next one, and kind of go like that. That way you get to at least see some games of each one of these decks. If you want to see more gameplay, you can go in the description below, where I will have linked to my own videos that I have done with these decks, as well as videos from other content creators around YouTube that have also covered the same deck. Especially, you know, like I said, we covered that Katarina Leona, we covered Gwen Sejuani, we covered Lulu Jinx about 2 months ago. If you want to see more Diana Leona, we're going to be covering that tomorrow as well, so you can always come back and check that out, learn how to play that board. But anyways, hope you enjoy the games coming up soon, and if you do, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LR videos every single day. I'll see you at the end of the video for a little bit of outro. Enjoy the deck breakdowns and the games. So let's cover Diana Leona. Now, this Diana Leona deck, it is Shadow Owls, and it's going to be probably the slower of the 4 decks that we're going to showcase today, because the way that this deck wins is to just kind of like a battle of attrition. Obviously, the whole idea here is that Leona can just give us a lot of value because of the Daybreak effect, and then eventually we build a really big board and then drop down the Winding Light, get everything overwhelmed, and just push lethal damage that way. In the mid-range, we can get a lot of value through the stuns with Leona. Another way that you can win a lot against is just by stunning the opponent's whole board and just pushing a lot of damage that way if you have Leona and Ravun on the field at the same time, because the Solari Sunhawk can give you double stuns. We can also use Diana as a way to kind of pick some of the opponent's units, because both Diana and Leona have Challenger, means that it's going to be really difficult for the opponent to actually keep their units alive, because we can always challenge them out of the way. This version is even a little bit greedier because we're playing stuff like Heaven's Align, giving us even more card generation, stuff like Quatos, which allows us to kill like the Veigards and the Noras that are out there, etc, etc. But it feels really, really good. We even play Solari Priestess, which can potentially get us some nice outs, especially to be able to draw champions if we need to, or Fallen Comets to deal with like big Tryndamere or something like that we need to deal with right away before, you know, we get smacked in the face or something like that. This deck is really solid, super strong, has been doing really well ever since the nerfs to Aatrox and the back alley bar. And I think it's going to continue doing well because we're kind of like in this Shadow Owl package and are able to play Unspeakable Horror. We're able to do well versus the Jinx decks and have Leona to kind of also be able to kill the Jinx or stun their units to be able to actually protect against like some of the rush, which is what makes this really, really good. But anyways, enough of me rambling. Let's jump straight ahead to the games and kind of see how this deck shows off in the games that we're gonna play today. In this match, we're gonna go into Lulu Jinx. Now, obviously, Lulu Jinx is super, super powerful, and that's the reason why almost everybody's playing this deck. I would love to see a Leona in my hand, because I feel like if I get a Leona in my hand, yeah, I think I'm gonna try to see if I can get Leona or Diana. Either one of the champions to allow me to kind of actually try to challenge the Jinx will be really good. We get the Diana. We can play the Dustbringer, which gives me the Dust Petal for the Diana, right? We decided to keep the Sunhawk as a potential way to stun the opponent. Now, one thing I need to be careful here is that if we play this Diana out and the opponent has Lulu, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. But now that we have Quietus, we can actually get rid of their Chompers, even if they play the Lulu. Which makes me feel okay. However, we don't have any other Nightfall card to really enable the Diana next turn, so maybe we just pass here. Yeah, maybe we just pass here. I don't want to take this damage next turn, so maybe I actually just commit the Sunhawk here. Because I feel like I don't want to take damage from the open attack, and I don't feel like doing the Quietus just yet. I'm going to just stun it right now, even though the stun isn't really doing anything. Our hand is a little bit awkward, but we do have some draw. We have the Diana that we talked about. We have the Quietus here. We can just take the Chomp Block here and just take 2 damage, and I'm okay with that. Okay. Okay, opponent just wanted to commit the Pokestick, which I respect it. I'm gonna let them have it because I think the Pelt Cascade is better off later on. You know? So, yeah, I'm gonna let them have it. I would love to... I think I'm gonna Daybreak. I think I'm gonna Daybreak here. That lets me push some damage here too. Because I want to keep this Diana. I want to keep the Pelt Cascade to be able to beat like a Mystic Shot, right? We're gonna pull the Elusive. We're gonna put the Elusive away. We can beat a Mystic Shot. We don't beat a Get Excited though, but I don't think the opponent was gonna have Get Excited. We can Quietus this Daring Portal if we want to. You know what? Let's Quietus the Daring Portal. They do play the Sneasel the Sniggle Boss that can buff created cards, so I don't want to have to deal with that Portal potential. I didn't actually see what they discarded. They decided the Scrap Head. Okay. They discarded the Scrap Head, not decided. They discarded the Scrap Head. And there you go. That was exactly why they discarded there, the Biggle Dust, as we expected. Smash and Dash is cool, but then we can just go Raboon here, and the opponent cannot attack with it. I guess they are gonna attack with it. Cool. I'm gonna Pelt Cascade right now. What if we just get rid of Leona? Sorry, what if we just give up the Diana anyways? Yeah, I don't want to take this damage. I kind of don't want to take this damage, to be honest. So I'm just gonna block everything. Because the more damage that we take, the more likely we are to lose to like a Jinx. By getting rid of their units, the opponent's gonna have to start blocking my stuff too. So this is not bad, because my Sun Guardians here are gonna get really, really big. So my Sun Guardians here are gonna be really big. I kind of like the second Sun Guardian. I like the second Sun Guardian. Just get these Sun Guardians as big as possible. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna attack just like this. I'm gonna keep the Raboon in my back, so that we have. Although we have a second Raboon, so probably keeping Raboon doesn't really matter. But I can always, you know, kill their units with Unspeakable Horror, so I don't think it's necessary. It doesn't look like the opponent has Jinx. If they do have Jinx, they are able to actually level up the Jinx here. If they have a Get Excited in their hand as well, or a way to discard, and there you go. So now Raboon is actually gonna die. There it is. And now the opponent is dealing 7, and just like that, now we're in a tough position, right? Because he's gonna be 7. Opponent doesn't get to actually do the rocket, because they don't have the mana, so I'm kind of chilling now, actually. I'm actually okay. What opponent needs to do is just open attack with this Jinx, and this is gonna win us the game next time. I can't believe they did that. They needed to open attack, because now I can just have a blocker for Jinx, so now you don't get to attack at all. That has to be super greedy. And then we just Unspeakable Horror here. Get rid of the blocker. We go Dust Petal into Winding Light next turn, and we win the game. I guess I'm gonna have to sacrifice my unit here, right? I'm gonna have to sacrifice my Raboon, but I don't think I care, right? Actually, it's better to sacrifice here. Better to sacrifice here because the Raboon is gonna be a bigger unit. Like, even if the opponent has Get Excited, it takes in 2 actions, right? So even if the opponent has Get Excited, it takes in 2 actions. So the Winding Light is gonna be able to finish the game here because of the Overwhelm. I guess opponent could have a Mystic Shot or like a Get Excited here, but they're gonna have to sacrifice their Jinx. They don't have any other blockers aside from Jinx. Yeah, that's game then. There we go. I like how they got all the Get Excited, by the way. Do you notice how the past turns has been just Get Excited every single time? They literally got what you want to see. When you're playing Jinx, that's what you want to see. When you level up Jinx, you want to continue drawing the Get Excited. If the opponent had 1 more mana on that turn where they level up the Jinx, they would have won the game. But unfortunately for them, they didn't. They also got lucky though that we didn't draw Leona, because Leona would have also been able to kill their Jinx. So GG's. In this matchup, we're going against ZIggs Taliyah. Our units are very, let's call them thick, right? That I'm not too concerned about this matchup. This might be greedy. Keeping Raboon and Leona is super greedy. I'm gonna keep the Protector. I probably could have kept the Heaven's Line as well. I'm gonna just keep the Protector so that we can try to level up Leona. Okay, we got the Heaven's Line regardless. I want to try to level up Leona as soon as we can. I don't want to play the Heaven's Line until we have Raboon in the field. That way I get both the Daybreak and the Nightfall value. If opponent decides to play... Okay, they didn't. I'm gonna play Protector now. I wanna try to level up Leona. I wanna try to level up Leona here. So I think playing the Protector is fine. I don't know if I wanna play the Sunhawk though. I can't play the Dustbringer though and then have Diana, but this is losing to a Drop the Bomb. So this is losing to a Drop the Bomb. I think I slam it. If the opponent has dropped the bomb, that's fine with me. We'll get it out of the way right now. She's gonna die to drop the bomb no matter what, because we don't have enough Nightfall cards to actually level her up. I guess opponent can have Quicksand and try to kill Diana with the Quicksand, but then that means that the Quicksand doesn't get here to stop my Leona later. Okay, so it's just gonna be the Shepherd. Shepherd is good for them too. He's gonna let them get the Harinator Rock Bear here sooner rather than later. Talking of which, we ended up with the Pell Cascade. That's kind of funny. I want to play Sunhawk now. I think I'm just gonna slam the Sunhawk now. It sucks. It sucks giving them this value, but I think I want to slam the Sunhawk now. Play Raboon next turn, then play Leona on turn 6 to stop their Taliyah or ZIggs from attacking. The Rock Bear makes things a little bit difficult for us. Yeah, so we can go like this. We can Pell Cascade to give this Diana the Challenger. So we can Pell Cascade to give this Diana the Challenger. Do I need to do anything? I don't know. I don't think that I need. I don't think that I need to do anything. I think I can just pass. I think I can just pass and chill for now.
I'll drag you out of there if I have to.
Sure.
Leave her alone, Katarina.
Sure. Okay, so this is gonna be a lot of damage next time, but I'm actually okay clearing out my board. I think I'm gonna keep Pell Cascade for later. We can play Leona here, stun one of their units, and then next turn be able to start doing all our random nonsense. Oh, unfortunately we don't get to stun Taliyah, right? We're gonna get to stun one of the other units. Question is, okay, is there ever a war where we actually block to kill Taliyah? I don't know that I do. Because, I mean, it means I'm sacrificing Raboon or Leona. Both of which seems pretty bad to me. Opponent could also just pull here to guarantee that we can't kill the Taliyah somehow. Yeah, you can just pull. I guess you can also pull this way. Doesn't matter to me. I'm okay with clearing my board out. Like that's what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for my board to be clear so I can start taking all my stun values next turn. Yeah, so here we can just sacrifice this guy. And I'm fine with this. I think I'm okay with this, right? We're gonna play the Solaris Soldier, and they have access to double Heaven's Alliance, sorry. Yeah, so we can go here. That gives me even another stun right now. So this stuns the guy. We get access to the Leona barrier. We get to stun the other person. Opponent has a full board as well. Yeah, sure. I like the Falling Comet, to be honest. Just as an emergency situation. I like the Falling Comet. This is actually gonna level up Diana, by the way, the Heaven's Alliance. Oh, that's a that's a huge draw. That's a huge draw. That's a huge draw. We might just be able to stun the opponent's whole board here. We're also gonna have double Challenger. We're gonna have the Sunhawk. We can literally just stun the whole board. Opponent's gonna have to start replacing their units. Do I care? I don't think I care. I'm gonna go ahead and go the second Heaven's Alliance first. And then I'm gonna play the Sunhawk. We still have Challenger here. And there it is. And now we stun two more of their units. The opponent's whole board is stunned. There we go. Was it actually lethal? 5, 8, 10. It wasn't even lethal, by the way. It wasn't even lethal. We were one off, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so you got to see there how Leona and Diana can just win some games. Leona is a pretty good champion agency, especially when you get some crazy value. Fortunately for us, we got to see both ways that that deck wins games. Wins through the big Winding Light and also wins through Leona stats. But moving on, another deck that I recommend climbing with is going to be Gwen Sejuani. Now, we showcased this deck on Monday night, so you can always go back and watch that video for longer gameplay. This list is slightly different than the one that we shared Monday night, right? We're playing stuff like, I guess it's not really that different, right? Actually, it's the same. It's the same entire list. What am I talking about? But anyways, the idea is straightforward. The idea is that you're combining the Halo package with the Overwhelm package to just push a ton of damage, right? Because the Sejuani can get a lot of value from the Overwhelm, same thing with the Atrocity, same thing with the Ancient Yeti, and then you can also finish games with Atrocity combined with the Halo buff to allow you to just kind of have a huge Atrocity target, even bigger sometimes than like the Field of Rush Atrocity targets. In the meantime, you want to kind of go early on first, start stacking up your Halo buff, and then transfer over to the Overwhelms as you got more Halo buffs in the graveyard. Eventually, you also level up Sejuani, and you have access to the Speak of Horror to be able to actually stun, like be able to freeze the opponent's board, which can be really cool. You have Tough Speaker, Doombeast to also do the same thing if the opponent does an open attack. So you kind of have a lot of odds on how to be able to actually do that. So yeah, so it's a very powerful deck. It actually, out of the 4 decks that we're showcasing today, is the second best performing deck over the past 7 days. No matter how I restricted the stats, whether it's past 7 days, current patch, past 3 days, past 1 day, this deck keeps showing up in the top 3. So I know it's kind of like a boring deck because it's just Gwen and Overwhelms and Halo. But trust me when I tell you, it's a really good deck at what I had to deal with stuff in the meta. So let's just jump straight to the games now to kind of showcase a little bit of how this deck works. In this match, we're going against Chihu playing Aatrox Kayn. Now this matchup is a little bit, and by a little bit I mean like really annoying, by the way, because we have to deal with so many strikes and so many stuff like that. I kind of do like this hand though. I like having access to the Ancient Yeti, and I also like having access to the Inner Beast. And the Host is obviously such a good card to have in turn 1. So I'm gonna keep the whole hand. Although I don't have Gwen and I don't have Sejuani, which can be a little bit risky. Opponent also kept their whole hand. Atrocity is too early in this matchup. We don't need this Atrocity right now. We don't need this Atrocity right now. We're looking for like Vengeance. We're looking for the 3 sisters.
The box bestows
Okay.
for a price.
You could have, I guess you could have the blood letters, right? There you go. I still just smack it though. Now, opponent would prefer to block this one, I would think, right? Opponent would prefer to block the Phantom Butler. So I'm gonna put this here, that way we still push 2 damage. There we go. Now, if the opponent goes for Momentous Choice, they don't go for it. I'm gonna see if there's a way for me to actually level up Sejuani. So I'm gonna actually just keep the Tusk Speaker to present the next turn. But we don't have Sejuani. We don't have Sejuani, and we also don't have access to... Oh, okay. Man, this is rough now. This is rough now because I would love to play Gwen. I think I played the Gwen out.
Goodness, what is all this?
I think we can't play... We cannot play thinking that we're gonna get Sejuani. Did we play the Gwen out? We just block here. You know what? I'm gonna Inner Beast right now. I'm gonna Inner Beast right now. Force the opponent to commit the blood letters into like Momentous Furious Wielder next turn to kill the Gwen. Because that's what they want to do. They want to be able to kill this Gwen? No way. So I'm just gonna try to overwhelm you then. If you tap out of Furious Wielder, I will play this stand swap. Yeah, there we go. Now we know absolutely 100% they have access to Furious Wielder. I want them to just do it here. There is a consideration that I should have done this first before the opponent actually equipped it. All right. They don't have the Furious Wielder then, right? Or they decided that it's not necessary since we didn't actually commit this card into it. I guess that's fair. We didn't commit the stand swap, so why commit the Furious Wielder? Let's make this guy stronger. Let's make this guy stronger. The opponent's down to 8. We have Atrocity. We have Tusk Speaker. We have a lot of value here. We can even beat an... The Aatrox is the most annoying part. But by playing the second Jetty, the Aatrox cannot attack because it will run into an Inner Beast. Like, opponent could try to attack with this Aatrox here, but it would just get beat by the Inner Beast. Because they can challenge, yeah. Next time we have 7. So we have enough mana to actually go here. Inner Beast and Atrocity if we need it. I am letting them get that. That's not where you attack with Aatrox, right? The reason I played the Tusk Speaker is because he only has 1 challenger. He can attack with this. I don't think that's correct. I don't like this at all from him. I guess the opponent could have Unforgiving Cold. That's the only way that this makes sense. The only way that this attack makes sense is if you have exactly Unforgiving Cold.
Observe the tension.
Okay, so it has to be Unforgiving Cold then, right? Otherwise, this attack makes no sense. I'm gonna pretend that you don't. I'm gonna pretend that you don't have it. If you have it, you have it. I'm not gonna let you keep the Aatrox alive. If you have Unforgiving Cold, you have it. If you don't have it, then Atrocity is gonna kill you. a lot of these lists sometimes don't play Unforgiving Cold because it got nerfed to 5 mana. So that's what I'm hoping for, that they don't play it at all. The opponent could have an Aatrox spell here, which is a little bit problematic, but not impossible. If the opponent plays the Aatrox spell, we just finish with... They lose the equipment because they had 10 mana. Wow. They lose... they have 10 cards, so they actually lose both equipment. So I think that's game. GG, Shihu. I didn't even realize that they had 10 cards in their hand. So because they had 10 cards in their hand, they actually just lose the game. Now, there is a chance. I mean, there's no way, right? If you have Unforgiving Cold, you have to use it there. There's no way you try to bait the atrocity out of their hand. That never helps you. I did not even realize that he had 10 cards in their hand. So they don't even get the Darkened Blade, which would allow him to... Yeah, so... Is there any way that we lose here? No, right? Unforgiving Cold is 5. Furious Wilder is 4, but he needs something that to be equipped. So we just Atrocity and just win the game. So GG's. In this match, we're gonna against the GP Sejuani. So it's gonna be Sejuani versus Sejuani. Ooh, our hand is not amazing. I like the Ancient Jetty, but that's all about it. That's all that I like in this hand. We don't have a one draw. Maybe the opponent doesn't play. Ah, okay. Wow, this gets so punished. This gets so punished if we have a one drop in response to that. Alas, it just wasn't meant to be. I'm gonna go redeem Protege, because no matter what, the opponent could summon another unit, right? I'm gonna go redeem Protege, just start stacking out my Hallows. Just get the value now. Opponent gets to... No? Okay, it has to be Spirits Unleashed then, right? Has to be Spirits Unleashed. Okay, they can still have a Spirits Unleashed. But we're gonna go ahead and play this first and force the opponent to have the Spirits Unleashed, and there we go. Yeah, that was an easy prediction. They just happened to top the Shell Shocker. If they didn't top the Shell Shocker, they wouldn't have been able to actually do anything to us. Wouldn't have been able to play a unit as well. So lucky for them, they actually got that Shell Shocker. Let's just go ahead and play the Ancient Jetty. Let's just start pushing a lot of damage. I think it's gonna be a race at this point. So I want to just push this damage through. Now, opponent could have Make It Rain. If it's Parley, the Parley gets punished by the Inner Beast. So I have to hope that it's just Make It Rain. No, it's just gonna be the Tusk Speaker. Alright. Gonna attack with both. If the opponent decides to block this one, then I'm still okay with that too. Make It Rain. So they have both. Huh. They have both. I'm gonna keep my Overwhelm alive instead of anything else. I know it lets them keep the Shell Shocker, which means that they can then block. I guess maybe it was better to just kill their unit, right? They actually have both. Interesting. They just wanted to get the value from blocking with the Tusk Speaker.
Oh, I've never met anyone like you.
Oh, that kind of sucks. But what I can do now is that I can go Phantom Butler. Oh, this sucks. This really sucks. Because I can't really do the regen. I guess because I really want to be able to do the Unspeakable Horror on this guy. I might have to just block. I might have to block with the Ancient Jetty. Yeah, I might have to just block with the Ancient Jetty regardless, and just that way I'm not taking damage. I think taking damage would be a problem. Yeah, taking damage would be a big problem. The problem is Sejuani, right? We're gonna have to have the Tune for Sejuani. Because we can play the Ancient Jetty now. Okay, we can just Vengeance Sejuani now, right? We can Vengeance the Sejuani. Opponent top decked it. Opponent actually top decked it. 2 Hollow Depths means that even if we do this, it's still not gonna be enough. We're just gonna give this +2/+2 for now. Just make it like a really beefy unit. We can Vengeance whatever the opponent summons. We are not able to attack because we only have 2 Hollow Buffs. I can't believe they actually top decked her. We can Vengeance her though. We can Vengeance her. Block this one. Take 3. Yeah, we have to Vengeance, right? We have to Vengeance. Take the 3. We go down to 6. Opponent, what is opponent scared of? I'm gonna bend you regardless, right? Because I don't want. I need to be able to open attack next turn. So I need to be able to open attack next turn. This is 9 plus 2 is gonna be 11. This is 12.
Don't ask where it's from. Ask how much.
I guess the opponent could steal our Atrocity. They have one card from us. They're going wide, which is a big deal for us. They have to block this though. If they don't block this, they're losing to the Unspeakable Horror. So we have two options here. We can Three Sisters, push the last 3 damage. And they have Unspeakable Horror. I mean, not Three Sisters, Fury. And they have Unspeakable Horror to finish the game. We just gotta hope that the opponent doesn't have an answer for this. I think I do this. I think I go like this in case that the opponent has their own Unspeakable Horror. Yep, I just have to hope that the opponent didn't steal my Three Sisters. That would have been the only answer that they had there. And we already have 1 Three Sisters in our hand and we only play 2. So I think I'm willing to take the gamble that they don't have the Three Sisters and just go for the lethal now. That way they're forced to open next turn because they lose to the Ram stance and they lose to Unspeakable Horror. By doing the Inner Beast, we also stop. If the opponent stole our Unspeakable Horror, it means that they still just live at 1 and then our Unspeakable Horror finishes them off next turn. So GG's. Hey, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those couple games of Gwen Sejuani. Again, we literally just showcased that deck about 2 days ago, so I recommend going in the description, finding that link and watching that one if you're interested in learning more how to pilot that deck. But it's doing really well right now, so I really recommend it as one of my choices to climb with. The next deck that I recommend is going to be Leona Katarina. Now, I showcased this deck about last week. This deck was created by a player called Trinatan. Really smart decision combining these 2 champions because they end up giving a lot of value, right? Leona with her stuns and the Daybreak effect and the challenger that she now has. And then Katarina because of the rally and the blaze sets to even add additional burn or get rid of some of the opponent's blockers. This is a completely different way of playing Leona compared to the Leona Diana deck that we showcased at the beginning of the video, because this deck is playing a lot more aggressive, right? We're not finishing the game with a big overwhelm. We're kind of just trying to go a lot of early board presence and then finishing up the game usually with burn between Fervor and Decimate. The deck has actually held down pretty well throughout the past week, still continuing to be one of the highest win rate decks. I think it's been top 5 ever since Chinatown kind of came up with it, and for good reason. There's not a lot of decks that can deal with the pressure that this style of deck can put out. I will even venture to say that this is probably one of the best aggro decks in the game at the moment. The only downside with this is that sometimes it does feel like the deck loses to itself. Like if you don't draw certain cards in the right order, it can feel a little bit awkward to actually find wins. So there's some spots that you can play around with. Like this version of the deck that I'm playing is completely different than the one that, not completely different, but slightly different than the one that I showcased a week ago. Like I'm not playing Reveler's Feast, I'm not playing Legionary Charge, for example. Instead, I'm just kind of going for a more solid 3-3-3 split along the line. But you could play stuff like Solari Priestess or some other cards that let you draw more cards so that you're not running out of resources. But anyways, enough about that. Let's see how these games go with this deck today. In this matchup, we're going against Aatrox and Kayn. Now, this matchup is super awkward because opponents should have really good ways to kind of kill us. I like the Shield Bearer. They have the Aatrox, sorry. The Aatrox is the problematic, right? The Aatrox is the problem here because the Aatrox can just heal them back up. I like the Shield Bearer. I'm gonna take this attack, by the way. I'm gonna actually take this attack. I'm willing to sacrifice against the Bakai so that the opponent doesn't get the equipment value right away. The Aatrox means that the opponent gets to heal everything back up, which is really annoying for us. Now, if the opponent has Bloodletters here too, then that's problematic. Might actually go... We know that the opponent has an equipment in their hand. I'm trading. Every unit that we trade means that it's one less target for the opponent to have equipment and one less way for World Ender to actually come online really quickly, right? I'm gonna play Sun Guardian. I'm gonna play Sun Guardian, even though this is gonna go down to 3. And yeah, opponent's not gonna have a way to deal with this. So just like that, we deal 6. We have access to Shield Bearer and then Leona as well. Let's go here. This triggers this. Ah, of course. Of course. I'm gonna take the 12. I'm gonna take the 12 and just say, you have it, you have it. We can play Leona, stun the Defector, attack with everything else, and we have the burn.
The dawn has arrived.
The only downside here with Leona is that means that we don't have the stun for next turn. So the Aatrox, I guess we have the Fervor. Opponent could have Furious Will there to kill this Leona or kill this one, but he can only kill one or the other, not both.
Glorious light rains down.
Otherwise, if we can pull with Leona, we're still pushing 11 damage and then puts him in range of dying to the...
Yes, yours.
Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, so how did you beat us? How do you beat us now? How does he beat us now? I guess Aatrox gives him the heal. Right? Aatrox gives him the heal. Kayn doesn't even live against any of my units. I don't even care, man. I really don't care about your Defector. You don't have Atrocity or any way to deal this 2 damage. I'm not gonna respect it. If you tap out of Furious Wilder, we just go Fervor. If you play Aatrox, like if you tap out of Furious Wilder, we just go Fervor. So we still just win then, right? The opponent doesn't even get to actually trigger the Kayn. Boom. GG's. It's a good attempt. It's a good attempt from the opponent, but we just got such a nice hand that I don't think they will win that. And I think it was actually important for us to trade the Crimson because he slowed down the opponent from having enough equipment and didn't actually get to draw the Aatrox because they didn't have anything to attach the equipment to. So GG's. In this match, we're gonna against Zed Hecarim. The good thing about for this matchup for us is that the opponent doesn't really have a lot of blockers early on, right? So they are gonna have a hard time dealing with our units. Like dealing with our aggression. Because they just don't have the blockers for it. Like usually the units are kind of like this. Units that don't really want to block that much. We can start Sunhawk. We can Sunhawk next turn. We can go House Spider here. Sunhawk, Pigeon. And that's probably the best way to do it. Shark. Okay, yeah, because the units are ephemeral, right? So because the units are ephemeral, the opponent ends up not having a lot of great blockers. Because the opponent... I think I'm going to actually keep the Sunhawk now, and I'm going to go Solaris Soldier into Pigeon. Because I don't really want to block the Shadow Apprentice, right? I don't think blocking the Shadow Apprentice... I don't think stunning the Shadow Apprentice does much when he's dying to everything that we want to do, right? Alright, I'm just going to Fell Cascade and just punish this Quietus. Absolutely punish. Absolutely punish. So now this is going to be dealing 4. It was a good chance. It was a good try. We do it here because this is gonna go down to 2 HP anyways. So this is 4. You can block here, but you still take 6. You go down to 12. We can now go for the Sun Guard. Whoa! That's crazy. The opponent must be really confident that they can survive. That's crazy. Strike up the band, okay. I'm gonna just go Sun Guardian. Zed. So you're still losing to the Sun Guardian then? You can't attack with Zed without losing to the Sun Guardian. You're getting a lot of damage through. I'm not gonna deny that. We're gonna just play the Leona, by the way. That way we get a challenger and the stun. We get to stun the Zed and then challenge the other one. Opponent could have Dragon Ambush, which could be pretty annoying to deal with. But I don't think I'm too concerned about that. Yeah, we just go Leona here. That gives us the stun on the Zed, getting rid of one of their blockers. We get to pull the Shadow Apprentice. We attack with everything else. We have another stun next turn to stun like a Hecarim. And there's the Dragon Ambush that we talked about. Now the opponent does get to heal up a lot. Alright, so the opponent does get to heal up plenty. I think I'm actually gonna block. Okay, so 4, 7, 9, 11, 13. Okay, no, we just win, right? Yeah, we just win. We just win because of the Crimson Pigeons. Yeah, this is 15. So the Dragon Ambush was not enough, and there we go. GG's. Yeah, this deck has a hard time dealing with aggro, like ephemerals, because you end up not having any blockers, because you end up relying on the ephemerals. So a deck like ours can just take advantage of that and just run them down. So GG's. In this match, we're going against ZIggs Taliyah. Now, ZIggs Taliyah is in a really good spot. It's a really good deck. However, I don't think is good enough to survive the aggression, right? Because usually this is the type of decks that can beat the ZIggs Taliyah, like aggro decks, is the way that Shurima loses. So let's see how this goes. We also get an amazing hand, right? We got an amazing hand to just... Okay, never mind. It was a great hand until we got double decimates. I don't think the double decimates is what we're looking for. Opponent could have access to Pokestick here, or they could also have access to... Okay. Question. It could be Saboteur, or it could be the Pigeon. I like the Pigeon better because I don't want to put the Rolling Sands and the Saboteur because opponent just blocks a different unit and then still gets to kill the Saboteur for free next turn. By doing it this way, I'm forcing the opponent to block the Pigeon here. If I play the Saboteur, opponent just blocks the other Saboteur and pulls this one for free next turn. So I think I prefer it that way. Then we can play the second Saboteur here. Cool. And then just open attack. We have enough burn. We have 8, 11. And we're doing 2 more here. That I think this is going to be pretty solid. I like the stun. I like the stun. I really like the stun here. Gets rid of a blocker. And we still push 2 more damage than we would have pushed if we open attack. And now we have Fervor and Decimates to go with. I don't want to Fervor right here because I don't want to lose to a Pokestick. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to Fervor instead after the attack. And then we're just going to go Decimate. Because if I Fervor the unit that died, the opponent could easily have access to a Pokestick, right? Opponent's going to have to always keep mana for Battle Negation now, otherwise they lose to the Decimate. That is enough mana for Battle Negation. Right, so if they tap out of Battle Negation, they lose to the Decimate. And they tapped out of it. So we just Decimate and we win the game. Boom. Unfortunate for the opponent. Like I said, the aggro decks always do well against Shurima. So I'm not surprised that we were able to kind of outbody them like that. But that Sunhawk was absolutely nasty. So GG's. Hope you enjoyed those games of Cat Leona. These games go really quick, so that's why you had like 3 games in less than like 12 minutes. That's why I love the Leona deck. It's also really good, the Leona Katarina deck. I recommend you playing it if you want to climb. We also had a video on that last week, so you can check that out. But the last deck of today's showcase of the best decks to climb with is the very popular Lulu Jinx. Now, this deck should not be new to anybody playing rank because it's literally the most played deck in the game right now. And even though it's the most played deck in the game right now, it still has over 54% win rate, which usually is a sign that the deck is very good because it has a high play rate while also still keeping a very high win rate. This is probably the best deck to climb with in the current game, But because it's so popular, there's a lot of counters to this deck running around. That's why the other decks that I showcased today could also be good alternatives if you end up running into a lot of counters of Lulu Jinx. The benefit of this deck as well is the fact that it can just end game so quickly, allowing you to actually get more LP per hour if that's what you want to do, to try to climb as fast as possible. The way that this deck works is obviously that you kind of get to go super wide with all the cards that can just, with all the cheap units that you have, and all the discard and discard fodder that you have to go wide, right? You have like Poro Cannon, which lets you summon 2 Poros while also being able to have a Jerry Rick or a Chompers on the field, allowing you to go wide. You have Bird, Yodo Squire, Sunny Urchin, Baboon, all very cheap units, a Squeaker, that can help you fill up your board and let you go wide. Combine that with the bigger dust to kind of create like a big attack, even with those small units that you're getting on the field. Then we'll also have access to the Lulu plus Jumper combos. We can usually take care of most of the opponent's key threats in the early turn, and then you finish a lot of your games just through having the Jinx and having access to the Rocket and just Jinx shenanigans. This deck is very, very cool, very fun, but the fact that it's a little bit too strong might make it super annoying for some people to go against, obviously because of how strong Jinx is. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're playing this deck out. But anyways, let's jump ahead to the games with this deck and see how it goes for us. In this matchup, we're going against Broken Ball, playing Karma Master G. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want to play this game. I really don't want to play this game. We're going against Karma Master G. This game is going to take Actually, it's not going to take forever because we're playing aggro, which means that if we get hit by multiple Battlefields and multiple Quietus and Vengeance, etc., we should just surrender and save our sanity. Because then it means that we, like, I don't even know. Maybe this is a Gohard deck as well, and the opponent just plays Gohard here. We also don't have Jinx, we don't have Lulu, and it is a Gohard deck. Look at that. We don't have Jinx, we don't have Lulu as well. So it's gonna be very slow for us to actually get there. I can't believe this. Like, this is, oh man. Honestly, I hate Karma. I hate Karma Shadow Owl decks because they just feel like they take so long to actually do anything. Like, they have such a long win condition. They must play well as well, right? I guess. I'm guessing they play well too, and that's what they're waiting for. You know what? Whatever. I'm gonna go here first. That way we beat the well by having a bell ringer on the field. Oh, it's just gonna be Master G. Okay, so we go here. Did you have Battlefields then? Otherwise, you're gonna get hit by a lot of damage here. It's gonna be a lot of damage. This is Quietus. They actually are forced to use the Quietus. They're actually forced to use the Quietus. I don't even think I attack with the Chompers, by the way. I don't think I pulled with the Chompers just yet. I don't think I want to give them that. I need a unit for the perfect. Literally the perfect unit we could have asked for. I'm gonna play her out. But it's going to use 2 spells. Now we can pull the Chompers. Now we can pull with the Chompers. Because we can pull here. And the Chomper stays alive. If opponent has Vengeance, they get to kill the Jinx. Which is the best thing that they could do here. But then they're still taking 6 damage on the other side. And it means that the Harpoon can now kill the Master Yi as well. Unworthy Soul and Stun. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna commit to Get Excited and the Harpoon. I want the Scrap Head, I think. I'm trying to decide which one I want here. I need to kill this Eye of the Dragon right now. I'm deciding if I think I prefer the Scrap Head. I think I prefer the Scrap. Oh, I guess I have to discard both, right? I have to discard both no matter what. If I want to kill this Master Yi now. Yeah, if I want to kill this Master Yi, I have to discard both. I don't want the Master Yi to continue discounting their cards. So I'm gonna take it like this. That sucks. That sucks. Yeah, that's a little bit rough. He's gonna know that we can't level her up. Yeah, he's gonna know that we can't level her up, unfortunately. So that battle piece is so risky. That sucks, right? I mean, it's a good risk for him to take. Unfortunately, we're just good gamers like this. So unfortunately for the opponent, we're really good gamers. So we can just go like this. I'm gonna start with the rocket first before we play the Oros, because I want to see if it commits anything else. I want to get rid of the Spiderling, and I want to see, because they have to commit the Vengeance here, right? They could have a stun. They could have a second stun as well. They could have the stun as well. So Vengeance to kill the Jinx taps them out of everything else, and then the Portal Cannons finishes the game. What if the opponent has access to something crazy, like... I think I'm still doing it. Even if the opponent has access to like a well or something, I think I'm still going for the double Portal. And they do have the stun. Okay, so they do have the stun. So we can just attack with everything here. Pull this little guy here so that the opponent is forced to block with their other units. So what I'm trying to do is force them to block with Karma, right? So now they have to block with Karma. They still take 1 damage, so they go down to 5. They have to hope that I don't get excited, right? So they have to hope that I don't get excited.
Now it's a party.
They didn't get it. Yeah, there you go. However, we do get the Squeaker, meaning that we can actually... I like the mech. I like the bone mech better. I think I like refilling my hand. I think I like refilling my hand a little bit more than I like doing everything else. And there we go. That's game. Yeah, I think refilling my hand was slightly better than picking any of the other options. That way I'm not running out of resources. So they did have the Vengeance, but they knew that if they did the Vengeance last turn, they had a chance of just not being able to deal with the rest of my values. So GG's. In this match, we're going against Vayne Zed. Ooh, okay, so it's going to kind of be a race. It's going to be a race. I really like this Electro Harpoon. I like the Electro Harpoon a lot. Because he can kill Zed. The bird is not good because I don't like buffing the Yoro Squire. I think I want to get something else. I want to get something else to buff. I'm going to do the Tiny Spear. I'm going to do the Tiny Spear so that I can book the Chompers potentially to be able to present lethal damage. This is going to be safe for a Zed. Sure. Do we open? We open for 4. We play Baboon. I don't know. I'm not gonna open. I'm gonna have them play their Bane if they have her. Wow. Huh. Alright. I'm gonna just push 8 then. I'm gonna just push the 8. See what you do? This is gonna get you down to 6. I mean, sorry, this is gonna get you down to 8 now afterwards, and we go from there. They were scared of the Chompers, I guess, by playing the Shadow Assassin now. They get some lifesteal, but they need to open attack to actually get that lifesteal out of it. If they don't open attack, if they don't open attack, they would have been in a bad spot. Let's go Tiny Spear again. We can Harpoon. Really? So we don't even need to harpoon now? Opponent has to block. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass because opponent has to block. Opponent has to block right here. Maybe they don't have to block. Maybe they're just gonna continue relying. Maybe they're gonna continue relying on that lifesteal, right? They're gonna continue relying on that lifesteal. They have to have a deny here or a nullify. They have the nullify. They're gonna rely on that lifesteal. But in order to do that, they're still gonna have to have a lot of value.
Stands for Jinx.
Because this Jinx is gonna be leveling up really quickly. You get the tumble, so you get to lifesteal all the way up to 6, but the rockets are gonna start wrecking your day. Cataclysm. I think I'm fine with this. I think I'm fine with this. I guess opponent gets to pass this on to another unit. We lose the Jinx, so now we lose the value from the rocket. That was a good Cataclysm, but I think our hand is so awkward that we were not gonna level up the Jinx anyways. It doesn't matter how much you heal here. Even if you heal 2 more, it's not gonna matter. Not only that, but you will have to tumble first so that I don't do the tiny spear to be able to block your Vayne. Yep, there you go. We let it go. You're literally gonna have to not be able to use it up, right?
So shiny, it's gotta be way strong.
Because if you try to attack with Vayne now, you're gonna lose to the Scudder. And I don't care about how much you're healing because my board is so wide that you lose next turn even with all your healing.
Purge with silver.
I'm gonna force him to have it. I'm gonna force him to have the twin. And then we just play Chompers and win the game. Catch. Okay. We can even kill the Vayne anyways without having to buff up the Chompers. So we just buff any of my other units with Lulu, pull the Vayne with the Chompers. You have to be twin, right? You have to be twin for them to survive. Single combat or something like that, doesn't matter. Cool. And we go like this. That's 13 damage that you're taking. Condemn only gets rid of 3 damage because you can only kill the Lulu. Nope. Alright, there we go. We get there. Interesting, interesting. I like when opponent plays weird decks like that. So GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. So that was the last of the decks today. That was against Lulu. We went against 2 weird decks, but you get the idea what against Lulu wants to do. We got to go super wide in both games and just put so much pressure to the point that opponent have to try to kill our Gens right away. As you saw in both scenarios, opponent had to just do everything in their power to be able to kill these Gens. This deck puts so much pressure with how many units you can actually drop down in the field that a lot of decks cannot really deal with it. This will be one of the top recommendations for you to climb with in a fast manner as we approach the end of the season. But that will be it for me for today. Hope you enjoyed this 4-in-1 deck, 4-in-1 video where we got to showcase 4 different decks that I recommend for you to climb with at the end of this expansion to get to the next step in your journey, whether it's gold, platinum, diamond, masters, whatever. And if you reach masters or any of those other milestones because of our videos, let us know in the comments. I always love to see what people are reaching the next tier of their gameplay. But anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like it below and subscribe to us. We post a lot of videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Twitch.tv where we stream every now and then. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again tomorrow.